Hello everyone, it's me, Coffee Stitcher. It is the last Sunday in March. How is everybody? It's good to hear. We have a touch of Q&A. We have a scotch of haul. And then we've got April goals. So we've got a lot. I don't have a whole lot of whip updates this week, but that's okay. I'm still going to show you what I got. So let's dive right on in. All right, so first things first, the little bit of Q&A. First, good call to Amy M. I didn't realize one of the fabulous features that YouTube's added is I can reuse details. So a lot of times, especially when I have a whole bunch of projects, I'll very frequently copy from whatever the start of the month was, because generally I've talked about it for the monthly goals. And I thought I had changed the title, and I had not. So, if anyone was really confused, that's why. So, thanks to Amy M121 for catching that. I'll try not to do that again today. Hopefully my coffee will work better for me. Trisha at 3 Owl Threads. Yes, I am. Alright, Robin B asks, have I ever been to the Anne Frank house? The answer to that is definitely no. I've never actually been out of the country. It is on the list of places I would like to visit one day. I think it's a very important part of history. It is a place I probably would only want to visit once. But I would like to see it one day. Michelle Biddy Stitchy asks, what is one thing or subject that you would love to stitch a pattern on, but haven't seen one yet? And I assume she means besides her Oz pattern. Well, up until recently, Narnia was one, which I know that's not so much like a big subject, but up until recently we haven't had one, so... Well, we've had a couple, but, to be fair, but one that I really fell for. And I've been thinking about this all week. One of my favorite poems is Invictus, and I've not actually gone looking, but I feel like I probably would have found one by now, if there was one out there. Even if it's just that I am the master of my fate, I am the captain of my soul, that last little line. I really loved that poem. I don't know. A lot of times I really wish there were more of, like, the weird pop culture things that I like, but I'm not talented enough as a designer to pull off. So things like, I'd really love to see, like, a fun, like, keeping up appearances pattern. You know, or a fun Vicar of Dibley pattern. You know, something kind of like maybe on that order. I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, that's kind of my thinking there. But yeah, I think of like more serious in nature. I think something from Invictus. Yeah. So yeah. So that's it for the Q&A. All right, so next up, my one little bit of haul this week is it finally arrived at Fire Poppies, so the Tiny Modernist Wizard of Oz tree. which I am tentatively planning as my birthday start. I may do the chicken one as my birthday start. We will see. I keep going back and forth between the two. So I will probably make more of a decision a little closer to time. Yeah. So, all right. So what did I work on this week? Well, I'm glad you asked. So I really just could not bring myself to start in on the latest part of Red Riding Hood Parade. It's Granny and the Woodsman in a basket, and I just could not bring myself to start the basket. So, it's momentarily in timeout. The next part comes out on the 8th. Depending on what the next part is like and what all is involved in it, I may go ahead and just start that. Because I'm hoping what I can do is kind of work enough of the rest of it that I can then turn just like the basket or something into like a work project. So that's kind of what I'm thinking there. So I think I put maybe like 3.5 stitches on that. So instead, I ended up working on Tiny Modernists, Secret Garden, which I'm still going to put on my April goals. But you're going to see me create my April goals today as I go along, because I did not prepare that ahead like I normally would have. So, I did finish the trees. My plan, since there's still a little bit left of April, I got the trees finished. So I want to go in, I want to finish out the grass and the other stuff kind of around the trees before the end of the month. That's where those are. This is on Moccasin from Fortnite Fabrics. So my plan for it this month. So if I continue with this one and I decide that I'm going to leave it in rotation and not start Oz Street, then this will keep going. But my plan, so see, I want to finish out, like, there's some bluebells and a little bit more grass and stuff. So that's only probably going to be like a one evening stitching sitting. So my plan is going to be to do the flowers up the side and maybe try to do this top part of the border. So, I'm going to write that down. Right. And like I said, that'll be my plan regardless of if I end up starting Oz or not. If I do start Oz, then this one will probably go away until Oz is done. But I'm really trying hard because I really do want to finish this one, so. Alright. Then I started on my Stitchy Crane piece, which is by Stitchy Princess on Etsy. On my tablet so you can see the full pattern. So I'm doing one, it's called Magical Swamp. So there's the full pattern. And I'm doing this on Summer Sky from Fiberlicious. And that's where I got on that. So I got the Lady Frog stitched. I am using all Aurifil. I've got some blending filament that I'm going to use to give some sparkle to things. So I think my goal for this month is going to be to go ahead and do this top part here. So the sun and the bees and such on the sides. Partially because I really like that sun, and I'm very excited to do that. So... and I just realized that one of my upcoming projects is over there, so let me go grab that. Hang on. Thought I'd gotten everything all together, and indeed I had not. Actually, two of my projects that are upcoming are over here, so let's set these here now. Okay. Boop. Gah. Oof. Okay. So, what else did I work on? Well, I worked on Anne Frank. Of course, it's my work project. It's my Stitch Asia project. And I finished out the doves and flowers on the left side. So this week we'll be doing this to get a finish. I'm hoping that, because the last day of the month is Thursday, so I'm hoping that once I finish out what I'll probably honestly do, it'll be, of course, my work project tomorrow. But I anticipate that I should probably have Narnia finished. If I don't finish it today, I think I'll definitely get it finished tomorrow. And then I'll probably just work on Anne Frank until it's done, because there's just so little left. Or I may just keep working on it, see if I can finish it as a work one, and then on Thursday finish it out. But one way or the other, my plan is to have it finished this month. And it's partially because the new moon, new start will be Friday. Because happy April Fools, it's a new moon. So, and the basically the same thing is on the other side of it's just more birds. And then there's some symbolic things that I've discovered this week as I went along. So I'll go into those when I do the full finish. That way it makes a little more sense. All right. Then the last part of Narnia came out. So, and my minder's not hiding anything. So here it is. And this is on Couture from Fortnite Fabrics. So I got all of the bottom part done. I didn't have as much time to stitch this week. Wednesday I went out with some old coworkers. And then, how did I do this week? And then as we all know, I tend to be a little slower going on these bordery parts here like this. So now that I'm actually into the rest of it, it should go, I think, pretty quickly. But I'm very excited, and I absolutely love what she's done. And the book club discussion should be today, so that's exciting. Oop, do you know how to do that? Okay. So that's got what I'm going to be working on today. And in case you're curious and want to see, because I think there's only been one or two actual finishes so far. So there's the rendering of the final, but I have seen a couple of finishes pop up. So, all right. So that brings us to the rest of the April goals. The April Whip Go happened to be squares 7 and squares 10. So that means NBC Stitcher and Robert's Palace of Stitches are going to be picking a project for me. So they can obviously do, and I told them this, I'll tell y'all what same parameters I gave them. Obviously Anne Frank and Narnia should not still be active in April, but they'll likely be finished very quickly. So anything in April is basically up for grabs. The only restraint would be my birthday start, because my birthday is the 28th, and the second new moon new start, because I'm not sure, I don't think I'll be able to get 500 stitches in to those before the end of the month. That's going to be pushing me just a little tight. So, otherwise, it's all up and open. All right, so let me do the new moon, new starts, and what will become the next work project. So, the first new moon, new start, which I know I spun my wheel, but then, and decided that I wasn't going to do a birthday start, and then I changed my mind, because I'm allowed to do that. And then I changed my mind again on the ones that they picked. I decided I wanted to do other things, because I was feeling those vibes a little more. One of them is because I'd like to have it on my desk at work. It's from Steph XStitch. It is a Moira Rose quote that says, "I am positively bedeviled with meetings, etc." I'm going to be doing it just on some plain white Ada that I've got. And I'm going to be doing it in a more Moira Rose-esque color palette. More on that to come as it comes together. My other new moon, new start is going to be one that's kind of been calling to me for a little while. And it's going to be the Brooks Books Snow White princess dress. So that's the design itself. This was the second of the princess dresses that came out. So Cinderella was first, and then Snow White came after Cinderella. And I wanted to do Cinderella. I've got Cinderella, Belle, Kaguya, and also kitted up. But Cinderella and Belle are both big floofy dresses, and Kaguya's is fairly involved. I'm probably mispronouncing that still. I promise I will get that down better. So Snow White was significantly more compact, and that's kind of how I want to balance doing these, is do big floofy and then more compact dress. So this is going to be on Ale from Picture This Plus, and that is going to be my second new moon, new start. For this month. And then, after I finish Anne Frank, initially my plan had been I was going to take Little Women from Stitching Book Club, because I got a brilliant idea for finishing its doing a finish with it. But it meant I needed to go in and do the border. I can't find it. No clue where it is. I'm going to keep looking for it, but in the event that I can't, then the next work project is going to be Pride and Prejudice. Because my goal is I would like to finish out the Stitching Book Club projects as before the next one comes out, because she hasn't set a date for it. So I would kind of like to just sort of get all of them caught up on and finished. The exception probably being Great Gatsby, because I've got Pride and Prejudice started, I've got Frankenstein started, and I've got 2 smalls left on Christmas Carol. So I feel like those are probably relatively attainable. And Little Women, if I find it. I seriously have no idea where it is, y'all. Wait, is it in this basket? I didn't look here. But that would be like me to put it in here and forget that oh, hey, I was looking for that bag. Nothing in it, but hey, at least I found my bag. So yeah, I got nothing. I have no clue where it is. I'm going to be poking around to see if I can find it. Hopefully I will. Anyhow, moving along to the rest of the plans. So, we've got Inspiration. My plan for it, and I think I kind of talked about this last time, since 5 and 6 are both fairly... Ooh, boy, I crinkled that up bad. Since 5 and 6 are only partials, I think my plan is going to be to do all of the backstitch and finish out the border on 5 and 6, and do all of its backstitch. And then, depending on how long that takes me, then we'll decide from there. This is on Willow, 99% sure, from Picture This Plus. There it is. Okay. Okay. Then, on Summer Patchwork, which I will probably also try to squeeze a little bit of time in on before the end of the month, simply because I now have all the DMC colors that I need, so I can go ahead and finish out its border. Or finish out the small little bits of border I don't have done, which is not a ton. But Summer Patchwork, so here it is. My plan is to finish, so that I can be off of split pages. My plan is going to be go ahead and finish out this section in here. So then I've just got 1, 2, 3, 4 left. And this is by Susan Bates on just a miscellaneous fabric that I had in my stash. So see, all I've got border-wise, I've got the zigzaggy border here, and I've got that zigzaggy border there, and the border is done. So my plan is going to try to be to get that squeezed in this week, but then it's going to be this birdhouse and the cherries. And then probably what I'm thinking, depending on how long this, I'm probably going to try and do 2 and 2, depending on how long this one takes. If this one takes long, it takes a while, then I may end up doing 3 and just do that one there. But we'll kind of see. As always, I do try to play these things a little by ear. Sometimes a goal doesn't end up working out. It's either too much or what have you. So... Oh, I did not write Summer Patchwork in here. Okay. Then, Wicked Siblings, which is by Mama Witch Cross Stitch. And of course, if Matt or Robert picks one of these, 500 stitches will go into it. So if my goal wasn't 500, we'll be going past it. So here's where I'm at. This is on a one-of-a-kind, one-off from Fortnite Fabrics. And the plan for it... Once it pulls up. So my plan for it is going to be to do the... Oh, it's farther down than I thought it was. Okay, so my plan for that is going to be these leaves and mushrooms, these leaves up to those flowers, and then these flowers up here. So I'm going to kind of be working on both sides. And then most likely the tree is going to be one entire month's plan. The smaller tree, those stars, the moon, and those plants, and then the ghosts will be the last part. Side leaves and plants. All right, then what do we have here? Stitching Witches. My plan is just going to be to do those 3 bands in the border, and then probably, depending on how long those take, probably the alphabet as well. And here, for reference, is where I am. Okay. Then we've got Twilight Woods. And this is on a Bestitch Me fabric, and this is doing an Oracle conversion. So I'm kind of working it in quarter chunks. So that's where I'm at on it. Last we left off. So my plan is going to be, and it's a little hard to tell on here, but the plan is going to be, there's leaves here. So leaves and stem, and then I'm going to try to get up and do, which that shouldn't, I think, take too long. And then we're going to do at least a couple of the Rosa letters. And this is by the Wishing Thorn on Etsy. Then South Seas Mermaid, which I still haven't gotten to this month. It's going to be the same goal again, which is going to be finish the top. So, this is on Moana from Hand-Dyed Fabrics by Stephanie. All right. Satsuma Street's Alice. And the goal on that is going to be a finish. So we've got, here's where we are. This is on Elphaba from Under the Sea Fabrics. So there's that. And there we go. That's what's left. I do think I am going to go back at least on the cards and the border and do a little bit of overstitching with some blending filament just to give them a little sparkle. Because I do think it needs a little, especially considering how blingy Oz ended up being. So here's, there's the last little part. And it's the Red Queen with her flamingo. So that'll be one I'm like I said, I can knock that out in a weekend. So, and then we're getting towards the end. We've got Haunted House. This is by Bent Creek. So my plan is going to be to do at least half of this room, which is, that's not that one. Here it is. Here's the pattern for it. Okay. But of course that may also be one of those that it'll go quicker because I don't have so much that's just all one color. And then finally, we've got Count Your Blessings. And this is by Annie B's Folk Art on a one-off by Ship's Manor. It was a fabric of the month. So my goal is going to be to finish what's basically, because this side kind of mirrors, so it's basically going to be finish out this, except it's a boy rabbit instead of a girl rabbit. So that's going to be the plan there, is just go ahead and finish the middle part of the house, and then I can just set up from here. I can just do border, or I can just do quarter of it. So looking about 3 months. So April, May, June. All right, and that, as they say, is that. So those are the April plans, minus, of course, obviously we'll see how that fits in with the Magical Stitches goals. We'll find out what WhipGo picks both Matt and Robert to choose. Who knows, maybe they'll both pick the same project, which is fine too, I guess. We will make it work. So anyhow, I hope everyone has a great week, a great rest of your March. We'll see you in April.